All right, let's dive right into this deep dive about all things perseverance. We'll be looking at some stuff from the Wikipedia page, about this rover.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's basically like a car-sized robot geologist, right?
That's a pretty good description.
We're going to learn about its mission
Yeah.
and, some of the cool stuff it's found so far on Mars.
Definitely. It's wild to think it's been on Mars for almost 3 years now.
Wow, has it really?
Landed back in February 2021
Oh, wow, okay.
in a place called Jezero Crater.
Jezero Crater. Why is that name so familiar?
Yeah, well, scientists think that billions of years ago, Jezero Crater was a lake.
Hmm.
And, where there's water, there's a chance there was life, right?
Right.
So that's why they sent Perseverance there to explore.
So it's basically searching for, like, ancient life in a place where there could have been life.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
And just getting it there was a huge challenge,
Yeah.
They had to use this new technology called terrain relative navigation, and it made it the most precise landing ever on Mars.
Wait, terrain relative navigation. What is that?
Okay, so imagine as Perseverance is coming down to land, it's taking pictures of the surface
Right.
and comparing those pictures to maps that are stored on board,
Yeah. Okay.
And it can use that to avoid any hazards
Oh.
and actually adjust like where it's going to land in real time.
Ah.
So it ends up landing within like a kilometer of its target,
Yeah.
which is the closest we've ever gotten.
So it's almost like it has a GPS, but even more advanced than that?
You could say that.
Wow.
Yeah. And that pinpoint accuracy was so important because Jezero Crater is a really like rough place to land. It has all these crazy different kinds of terrain.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember. Didn't that other rover, Curiosity?
Curiosity, yeah.
Didn't it have some problems with its wheels?
It did, yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And, NASA learned from that. They gave Perseverance a huge upgrade when it comes to wheels. Thicker aluminum, titanium spokes, even cleats, for traction.
Wow.
It's really built to handle anything that Mars throws at it.
Yeah, because it's already driven like over 28 kilometers, right?
That's right, yeah.
Wow. What's it been doing during all those drives?
Well, mainly it's searching for signs of that ancient life we were talking about.
Okay.
So analyzing rocks and soil for what scientists call biosignatures.
Biosignatures.
Yeah, basically they're like chemical traces or physical signs that life was there before.
Okay.
Like imagine finding fossilized bacteria from billions of years ago.
That would be incredible.
It would be, yeah.
But even if it doesn't find like actual aliens, it's still getting valuable information, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every sample it collects, every image it takes helps us understand more about Mars,
Okay.
And if it could have supported life at one point.
And then there's that whole sample return mission too, right?
Yeah.
It's going to bring pieces of Mars back to Earth.
That's the plan, yeah.
That's incredible.
It's incredibly complicated, though.
Mm-hmm.
You need multiple spacecraft to work together
Oh, wow.
to retrieve the samples and actually bring them back for scientists to study.
It's like having a time machine to study the early solar system.
Yeah.
What could we learn from having those pieces of Mars in our labs?
I mean, the possibilities are endless, really. We could learn so much more about the geology of Mars. Was there water? And maybe even, definitive evidence of past life.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Well, while we wait for those samples to come back, it's already making some pretty amazing discoveries on its own. Remember that little helicopter? Ingenuity?
Ingenuity.
That thing was amazing.
Yeah, that was originally just to see if powered flight was even possible on Mars. Because the atmosphere is so thin,
Right.
it blew everyone's expectations out of the water. It ended up making 72 flights.
72 flights. Wow.
Yeah, sadly, it was retired this year.
Oh, no.
It had some damage to its rotor blades. But it was amazing. It opened up so many possibilities for using drones to explore Mars in the future.
Yeah, I remember that image of it hovering over the surface of Mars.
Oh.
It felt like such a huge step forward for space exploration.
It really was.
Yeah.
And then there's MOXE, too, the instrument that's making oxygen from the Martian air.
Oh, that's right. Oxygen made on Mars.
Mm.
Could we actually use that to like keep humans alive on Mars? Could they scale that up to support a colony, you think?
That's the hope, yeah.
Wow.
MOXA is like the first step.
Right.
If we can figure out how to make breathable air and rocket fuel on Mars,
Oh, wow.
it would completely change human exploration,
It would change everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of taking everything we need from Earth,
Right.
we
yeah.
could live off the land, like literally.
Exactly.
Wow.
It would make things much more sustainable,
Right.
And it would open up incredible possibilities for humans being on Mars long term.
Long term, wow. It's crazy to think we're already talking about, making oxygen and maybe even rocket fuel on Mars.
It really shows how far we've come
Yeah,
in space exploration.
for sure. But, I mean, getting those resources from Mars to a colony, that's a whole other challenge, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where those samples that Perseverance is collecting are so important, you know?
Right.
It's carefully gathering these rocks and soil, putting them into these special tubes
Okay.
to keep them, like, pristine, no contamination.
Like a little time capsule from Mars?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a future mission is going to come pick them up
Right.
and bring
Yeah.
them back to Earth for scientists to study.
Can you imagine when those samples finally get back to Earth?
Oh, it'll be incredible.
What do you think scientists are hoping to find in those samples?
Well, first of all, they'll be looking for more evidence of past life.
Oh,
They can analyze them with like much more powerful equipment here on Earth than
right.
what Perseverance has.
So even if Perseverance doesn't find like a fossil or something,
Right.
those samples could still have the answer.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
They could also tell us a lot about the geology of Mars. Was there water? How did the planet change over time?
It's amazing to think that these little pieces of rock and soil have so many secrets
Yeah.
about a planet millions of miles away.
It is pretty mind-blowing, yeah.
And it's not just rocks and soil either,
Yeah.
right? I read that Perseverance even captured a sample of the Martian atmosphere.
They did.
Wow.
They thought of everything.
Yeah, the team behind this mission they're incredible.
Yeah.
And, it's not just Perseverance out there doing all the work. There's a whole team back here on Earth basically controlling it remotely.
I guess somebody has to be like behind the wheel, even though it's millions of miles away.
Exactly, yeah. They send commands, they receive data back, they analyze it. They decide where Perseverance is going to go next, what it's going to investigate. So it's kind of like they're playing a video game, but with a multi-billion-dollar rover instead of a controller.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
And like any good video game, there are some Easter eggs hidden on Perseverance, right?
Oh, yeah.
We already talked about that message on the parachute.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also that family portrait of all the Mars rovers, right?
That's right, yeah.
I love that detail.
Yeah, it's a nice little tribute.
Yeah, to all the robots that came before.
Exactly. It's acknowledging that, each mission builds on the one before it.
Okay, I gotta ask, have we found any aliens yet? Any little green men running around?
Well, as cool as that would be, Perseverance isn't really designed to find, like, living creatures.
Right.
It's looking for signs of past life, not present-day Martians waving at the camera.
Okay, so no close encounters yet.
Not yet.
But what about those signs of past life? Has it found anything promising?
Well, it has found really strong evidence that there used to be water on Mars.
Okay.
There are signs of ancient rivers and deltas and lake beds,
Mm.
which all point to a time when Mars was much wetter.
And probably warmer.
Mm-hmm. And potentially more habitable,
So like billions of years ago, those
Yeah.
places could have been full of like microbes and stuff.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And Perseverance is looking for any clues that might support that idea.
Okay.
It's using its instruments to analyze rocks and soil remember those biosignatures we talked about?
All right, right.
Those chemical traces that might indicate life was there before.
So we might actually find like fossilized Martian bacteria.
It's possible.
That would be incredible.
It would be one of the biggest scientific discoveries ever.
Wow.
But even if it doesn't find definitive proof of past life, the information it's gathering is so valuable.
Right.
It's helping us understand Mars and whether it could have supported life.
It's amazing that this rover is out there,
Yeah.
millions of miles away, making discoveries that could change how we think about life itself.
It really is remarkable, yeah.
And it's not just about looking back in time. We were talking about Amoxie and how it can make oxygen.
Hmm.
Are there other technologies on Perseverance that could help humans go to Mars someday?
Oh, definitely.
What?
Well, it has this ground-penetrating radar called IMFX.
Okay.
It can basically see underground,
Wow.
and it's looking for underground water ice.
And water ice is crucial for humans, right?
Absolutely.
We need it for drinking,
Yeah,
but also for making oxygen and even rocket fuel, right?
exactly.
So if we find enough water ice on Mars, that would be a game changer for building a colony.
For sure.
Wow.
It would make a long-term human presence much more realistic.
Perseverance really is doing so much.
It really
It's
is.
searching for ancient life. It's testing out technologies for future missions.
Mhm.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's exploring the past and paving the way for the future.
I'm starting to get a little philosophical here,
Yeah.
thinking about all this, about ancient life and humans on Mars. What do you think? if we actually found proof of past life on Mars, how would that change things for humanity?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a profound moment for sure, right?
Yeah.
It would force us to reconsider our place in the universe.
Right.
Knowing that life existed elsewhere, even billions of years ago,
Yeah.
would have huge implications for how we think about biology, evolution, the search for other life out there.
It would mean that we're not alone.
Exactly.
That life isn't just this, like, fluke on Earth,
Yeah.
but that it might be common throughout the universe.
Right. It would open up so many new questions, so many new areas of research.
It's mind-blowing to think about.
It really is.
And who knows, maybe Perseverance will find something even more incredible before those samples come back.
Oh, anything's possible.
Yeah, like what if those leopard spots we were talking about turn out to be something totally unexpected?
That's always a possibility. Mars is full of surprises.
Yeah, remember when Opportunity found those blueberries?
Oh, yeah.
Those little spheres that showed there used to be hot springs on Mars?
That was a huge discovery.
Yeah, it changed everything we thought we knew about early Mars.
It just goes to show, Mars is always full of surprises.
Right. And Perseverance has even better instruments than Opportunity did.
Oh, yeah. Much more advanced.
So who knows what it might find?
The possibilities are endless.
Let's talk a bit more about the technology being tested for future human missions.
Okay.
We talked about Muxia, the oxygen maker, but what else is there?
Well, there's this weather station called META.
Okay.
It's collecting data on the Martian climate, temperature, wind speed, humidity.
So it's like a Martian weatherman,
Exactly.
helping us understand the weather patterns there.
That information is crucial for planning human missions.
Right. You need to know what kind of weather the astronauts are going to face,
Exactly.
what to expect,
and how to design the habitats and equipment to handle it.
Speaking of handling the Martian environment, that rover is built tough, right?
Oh, yeah, it has to be up.
Yeah.
It has to survive extreme temperatures, rough terrain,
Right.
and it's proven to be incredibly resilient so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's already lasted longer than its planned mission, right?
That's right, and it's still going strong.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a real testament to the engineers who built it.
Yeah, they really did an amazing job.
They really thought of everything.
It's just, this whole Perseverance mission is so inspiring,
It is, yeah.
It's like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's actually happening.
I agree. It's a testament to human ingenuity, exploration, the pursuit of knowledge.
And it's not over yet.
Not even close.
As we're wrapping up this part of our deep dive, is there anything you want our listeners to think about? Any questions they should ponder?
Well, here's one. Imagine scientists do find evidence of past life in those Martian samples.
Okay.
How would that change your perspective on life in the universe?
Wow.
Would it mean that life is common everywhere?
Right.
Or would make life on Earth even more precious, more unique?
Those are some big questions.
So they are.
It really makes you think about the impact of this mission.
Yeah, and those are the kind of questions that Perseverance is helping us to answer.
One discovery at a time.
Exactly.
It's wild to think, those samples could actually tell us if we're alone in the universe or not.
It's a pretty huge deal, yeah.
Imagine headlines everywhere. Life on Mars confirmed.
Oh, yeah. The whole world would be talking about it.
It would change how we see, everything, right? Biology, evolution.
Definitely.
If life started on Mars, separately from Earth,
Mm-hmm.
it would mean life might be way more common in the universe than we ever thought.
Right. We wouldn't be just this random, accident.
Yeah, like a one-off thing.
Yeah. It would mean we're part of something much bigger.
Exactly. It would raise so many new questions, too.
Oh, tons of them.
New research to do, whole new fields of science, maybe.
For sure.
It's exciting to think about.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe Perseverance will find something even crazier before those samples get back to Earth.
You never know.
What if those leopard spots are something totally weird?
Yeah, that's always possible.
Yeah.
Mars is full of surprises.
It is. Yeah, remember when Opportunity found those blueberries?
Oh, yeah, those little iron spheres.
Yeah, showed there were hot springs on Mars way back when.
That was a huge discovery.
Changed everything we thought we knew about early Mars.
Exactly. It shows you just never know what you're going to find.
And Perseverance has even better tools than Opportunity did.
Oh, way more advanced.
So who knows what else is out there, just waiting to be discovered.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
Let's talk more about that tech being tested for humans going to Mars.
Okay.
We talked about Moxie, that makes oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there?
Well, there's this weather station on board called META.
META.
Yeah, it's basically collecting weather data, temperature, wind speed,
Okay.
humidity, all that stuff.
So it's like A Martian weatherman tells us what the climate's like on Mars.
That data is super important for sending humans there,
Right, like you got to know what kind of weather to expect.
Right. You need to know how to design the habitats, the space suits.
Yeah, make sure they can handle the Martian environment.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, the rover itself is pretty tough, right?
It's built to last.
It has to be to survive on Mars.
Extreme temperatures, rough terrain, it can handle it all.
And it's proven that it can. It's already gone way past its original mission.
It has, and it's still going.
The engineers who built it did an incredible job.
They really did. They thought of everything.
It's inspiring, this whole perseverance mission,
It really is.
It's like science fiction coming to life.
Yeah, human ingenuity, exploration, pushing the boundaries of knowledge.
Yeah.
It's all there.
And it's not over yet. There's still so much more to come.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So as we wrap up our deep dive into perseverance, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from this?
Well, I think what inspires me most about perseverance is that it shows what humans can do when we really put our minds to it, We're curious, we explore, we push the limits of what's possible.
And there's still so much out there to discover.
Oh, yeah. Mars is just one small part of it all.
Exactly. Who knows what else is waiting for us out there in the universe?
The possibilities are endless.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into perseverance.
It's been a pleasure.
Keep looking up, everyone, and never stop exploring.